It's a brutal fruit spritzer takeover for Women's Month. My name is Pamela Mtanga and this is my audio journal. So, what's in question today? You cannot not mention my guest today when you speak about the future of media in South Africa. She is an entrepreneur, a TV and radio broadcaster, and overall a ball of energy. Now, when it comes to legends, icons, 20 years down the line, we'll definitely reference her when we talk about presenting styles and just people who've taken over South African media. Please welcome the oh so gorgeous, unstoppable Zanele Potelwa.
What do you mean? Why would you say that about me?
You know what I love about her? She was like, I'm going to keep the shades on, I'm going to take them off. So she needed that moment.
They're gone now because you just, why did you make me so shy?
You know what? I always say that with media personalities or presenters, we're the people who introduce the stars. So when you hear such an intro about yourself, it's like, what?
You're
so talking
shocked.
about me?
I'm still shocked. Pam, that's so sweet of you to say gorgeous. But same. I want to go.
Okay. So we have this thing where whenever we see each other, there's always something to compliment each other on, something to congratulate each other on, and we're always taking turns. So today, on this episode, please make a vow and say, I, Zanele, will not be dishing out any compliments to Pam.
I are trying to not dish out compliments to Pamela Mtanga. I shall try.
You will try. I'll take that.
Try. Okay.
I'll take that. How are you?
I'm amazing, my baby. How are you? Why are you so gorgeous?
Oh, good.
There's a compliment. I'm sorry.
Fail.
Okay.
Fail.
Okay. I am amazing. How are you, gorgeous?
I am good, thank you. I have a bone to pick with you straight off the bat.
What?
You recently won an award for Rising Star of the Year.
Yes, the next big thing.
I don't like that.
You sound like one of my bosses.
I don't like that. What do you mean?
No, can I tell
No,
you?
No.
Okay.
What does that mean?
Can I tell you?
No.
Okay.
I'm like 4 TV shows in a space of a day. Between radio and TV, you're seeing Zanele 4 times in a day. What do you mean she's a rising star?
Okay, can I explain?
Okay.
Can I explain why when they called me and they were like, Zanele, you have been chosen as the next big thing for the SA Style Awards.
Yeah.
I get you, because I also could have been like, hi, bo, does that rise?
No, it's okay, like for you to believe that, but for the people who watch you, it's like, no. No, but she is.
Can I tell you why I see a brighter side of it?
Yeah.
Because for me, I took it as they believe that there's still so much more for me to do. Which is exactly how I feel.
Optimism, yes.
Yes, I feel like this is still only the beginning. I feel like God's still going to do so much more. Already the first 6 months for me was already just little nuggets of that. So I'm like, that's what I took from it. Yeah. And you sound like one of my bosses because he was like, excuse me, you did that. But I'm just like...
Also, 4 TV shows or like between TV and radio in one day, we're going to see you in 4 times. So what do you mean she's next big? She is big. She is amazing, you know. I absolutely love to see your journey, and we're going to take it back, but I had to start with that, like something that was sitting in my heart for so long. What do you mean? Firstly, you got that call. How did that feel?
It was crazy. Can I tell you why it was so crazy for me? Because I remember watching over the years, because I'm someone like, I know for us, we're people who like to keep up with what's happening in our, sort of entertainment industry. Yeah. So I remember seeing some of our colleagues winning that specific award, and I got to a certain age and I was like, okay, I guess it's done for me. Like, I'll have to see another one. Do you know what I mean? But at the same time, I was still optimistic because we believe in optimism. Yes. So I was like, it'll be another one that I win. It doesn't have to be that one. So for me, it was such a big lesson to be like, don't count yourself out. Because God hasn't counted you out 100%. Because I did count myself out in that thing. So when it happened, I was like, oh, testimony, kesana.
Oh, that is so beautiful. So it's something that you wanted, Gaga.
Literally, it was something where I was like, I wonder if I'll ever. You know what I mean? When you look at it and you're like, hopefully. And then I got to that place where I was like, no, I won't. And then God was like, here we go, baby.
No, here you go.
Yes.
You know, I'm going to put this away because I want to... look at you straight in the eye.
Yes,
you know, I don't remember who I was talking to, and they said to me, Zan has always been that person who knew that they were going to be a presenter ever since that you were in high school or what. No. She was like,
Why are they lying about
Really,
me?
tell me about it. Tell me about a time when you realized that I want to be a media personality. This is what I want to do for the rest of my life. Or it could be that they saw you and they're like, this girl, the talkaholic, she's going to be an MC, a presenter.
Yeah,
Tell me
so
about it.
for me, babe, firstly, that person's like, don't listen to that person again. They're a liar. Because I only knew I wanted to be in presenting when I was 20, 21 years old.
Oh, wow.
I never wanted to be on television. I never wanted to be on radio. And that's why I believe my journey is a Jesus thing. Because genuinely, I had my heart set on, I wanted to be a doctor. I come from a family of doctors. So my dad's a doctor, my aunt, my uncle, my other aunt, my other uncle, everyone is a doctor. So I told myself, because I want to help people, I also want to be a doctor. And I even was like, I want to go to Doctors Without Borders. And in the end, I applied everywhere, got rejected. And it was because...
It's redirection.
It was redirection. But on top of that, it was because I was focusing on... Because I'm actually good at maths and stuff. Like I did third year statistics and whatnot. You know?
Wow.
Yes, until I left. But however, I left. But I got a job in radio. However, for me... I got rejected and everything because I was doing public speaking. So I went to go debate in Australia. I went to New York because I won we won a specific, it was a science debate at the time. So the prize was an award. Yeah. So in my matric year, I was busy traveling around the world.
That is incredible.
Like while being head girl, so I was speaking the whole time. So speaking was always the thing I was doing, acting, public speaking, debating. So for me, I'm always like, God was always preparing me for what was coming and I just didn't know.
You didn't know.
100%.
And you were looking at becoming a doctor and he was like, no, I'm redirecting you. I'm redirecting you. So growing up, did you always be a talkaholic? Don't mind the high school. Like tell me about Zan when she was growing up, when she was really, really young. Like 5, 6. You know?
So for me, I was actually a little bit shy when I was around about 4 years old.
Wow.
I even remember my my childhood best friend Yoza. She was the one who like came up to me when we were both 4 in the creche, and she was the one who was like sort of like teasing me because I was like so shy and things like that. And then we became friends. And I attribute my coming out of my shell to a certain extent to my siblings and everything, but also to yours as family, because they were also like extroverted and things like that. Then so outroverted English already. But my cousin actually called me the other day and she was like, Zan, I found this like childhood video of you where you're literally speaking into the camera. I have no recollection of that. Oh, wow. And it was like, when we just got in like the video cams and things like that, and everybody could now afford them and whatever. And she was like, there you were. And you were like, guys, I want to introduce you to this and that. And
that is beautiful.
How adorable. If I get nominated for something else,
we need to see it.
I'm going to post it.
Oh.
Yes, I am. Yeah.
Better nominate her. I need to see it ASAP.
But yes. So essentially, in terms of you asking that, I got to a point where I was that person who was like a little chatterbox. They used to write on my report, talks too much. Well, I still talk too much for money.
But you get paid for it.
Exactly.
I love it. And I know your mom is quite supportive of whatever you do. I'm pretty sure if you said tomorrow, Mom, I want to sell all gold to all gold. She's going to support you. Your mom is that mom. Like, she treats you like a princess.
How did you know that?
Girl, I'll follow you on Instagram.
Oh my goodness.
Next up, I'm going to know your ID number.
You know what I mean? Where I live, where did I stay when I was 4?
And how did she take you switching from wanting to be a doctor, having statistics in your 3rd year, and now switching and saying, I got a job on radio, I gotta go.
Yes.
How did she react to that? Because I can relate to a story where you're switching from a maths and science degree and now you're going into a creative degree. How did that go?
Yes, my engineer. I know stuff about you too. I'm a big fan of Pam. In any case,
another compliment.
But I'm a Dasta fan. Okay, cool. So essentially, I didn't give my parents a chance.
Oh yeah.
I literally just did it. So I didn't tell them. I didn't go, Mama, this is what I'm doing now. I said, juices. And I went, and the nice thing is that I'm privileged enough that my dad has a house here in Johannesburg. So that was where my siblings were living. So for me, it was a thing of like, if I needed to be in Johannesburg, I just come here.
Yes.
And then it was like, just like, shh, I'm just here, like, but it's fine. And then I also was in Pretoria.
This is scandalous.
A little bit. But I was also in Pretoria. So I just trained whenever I needed to come to work and things like that. And then eventually it got to the point where I was like, okay, well, I'm like covering my own stuff now. So like, guys, I gotta go. And it was what it was. Like I just didn't tell them. So they just had to accept it. And I remember, I think my dad only accepted it like in the second job I got, because it like was in the paper and everything that I'd now moved to 5FM.
Yeah.
So then he was like, I think I did
Only
like,
then?
because the first year was at 947. So I did that first year, then I moved. And also it was because he could listen now, right? Because remember it was regional and then
100%.
national. So then what happened was he listened for like, he listened the one night. And all he said, we've never spoken about anything else that has to do with my job, I guess, at that specific time. And he was like, I listened. Looks like you know what you're doing. I said, yeah. I said, okay, cool. I said, thanks. And then I carried on with my life. And also, you're so right about my mom. She's so supportive. Can I tell you, even just in terms of, I remember being a kid and like wearing very short things, right? Because sometimes, I do. But in any case, I remember wearing like something very short. And all she'd say was like, are you sure? And I was like, yeah. And I'd leave the house.
Are you sure?
She'd be like, are you sure? And I'd be like, yeah.
As long as you're sure,
She
go on
supports
with your
me.
bad self.
Exactly. But yeah, that's how it pretty much happened.
That's so beautiful. But also, what I love about that it's a story of privilege, but also hustle. Because you had to hustle in order to ensure that you can prove it to your parents. But for your parents, they gave you that privilege and thinking that, oh, we wanted to be a doctor or in maths and science. And I want you to take me through the time where your last day at school. The last day at school. It's just like, Jesus, I'm not coming back. I gotta go.
Can I tell you, I actually don't think there was a specific day where I went, I guys, manje. Oh, actually, okay. In terms of the one where there was just the switch of me moving from Pretoria to Johannesburg, that's the one where there isn't one. But I do remember my final like day where I went to one of the heads of our department, because I was doing a BCom at the time. And in my third year, and he was like, because at the time things weren't going well with the academics, guys. You know what I mean? Because I was trying to be a superstar slash like radio presenter, TV presenter. But so what happened was, then it got to a point where it was like, okay, cool, go and do these modules elsewhere at UNISA, then you can come back. So I remember that day when I was now like getting the letter from the guy, and he was like to me, what I like about you is that like you don't give up. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even know that that's what I was showing you. I'm just trying to finish this degree. I want it over and done with. I'm trying to get out of here, okay? But he was literally like, yo, you really don't give up. And I was like, thanks, sir. And then,
and then you're like, this is it.
Yeah,
this is it. I'm following this dream. And then 947 happened. How was that experience? Because it's your first radio gig, but also it's a massive station.
Yes.
It's quite the job.
Girl, it was
quite
huge.
the job.
I mean, working with people like Zanele Potelwa.
Exactly. Like you're bumping into them in the cafeteria. What do you mean?
Like Ayanda MVP. Are you serious? Like it was crazy. I mean, just like the whole Breakfast Club and everyone at 947 for me was so pivotal to where I am now. They were so supportive, from Zweli to Karabo to Pout to everyone. They were all so supportive of me being someone who just come into the industry, and they were so willing to allow me to learn and things like that. You know what I mean? And even to this day, Zanele Mdoda's like one of my mentors. Like she's someone I reach out to and I chat to, and I'm like, please help me, and she helps me. She's amazing. I love her so much.
She is amazing.
Yes.
She is a powerhouse.
The biggest. But that's why I count myself so lucky. But it really was such a beautiful space for me to grow. But the very big part of, I think, getting me ready and the foundation even for 947 was 5FM. So I used to hang out at 5FM for 2 years before I went to 947. So that's how 947 came about, because Grant Nash was moving from 947, or rather from 5FM to 947. And what had happened was I started hanging out with the marketing team, which was Liesel and Malba, Liesel Hefke and Malba Thompson. And they used to like allow me to like come to some of their events. I used to work the guest list. I would come and like, I even went to like Limpopo with them and stuff, and like I'd help them put up branding, and I wasn't getting paid at the time. It was literally just me volunteering, and they let me. And I think that was the biggest thing, because sometimes they even use their own resources to be like, girl, come to work. Like, if I was like back and things like that, right? So for that 2 years, whenever I wasn't at varsity, I was at work. So essentially, and by that I mean as in I was just volunteering at 5FM. Yeah. So then when Grant moved, he like said, hey, I know this diligent girl. And then he sent them my number, and they called me, and we had an interview. And actually one of the things that got me hired was a video that I made asking Chance the Rapper if I could interview him. Because they saw that and they were like, hey, this girl take risks. She takes risks.
Let's
she's
go with her.
creative. Yeah, let's like.
Yes.
So it was literally just like a progression from 5 to 947, which was my first contract. And then after that, after a year, I went back to 5FM.
You know what? I really, really love this story. I love it because it speaks about being willing to do things for free, which is one of the episodes that we've had on the podcast where we talk about being willing to network, doing things for free, learning the ropes. You're not getting paid, but also just being exposed to the kind of people or the kind of industry you want to get into. And it's testament to that. Yes. And the one thing I can tell you about Zan, networking, oh my goodness.
Why is everybody saying this?
No. You are incredible at networking. And I need you at this point to give us 3 tips for networking. I feel like this is not a part of what I planned for the episode, but I did want to get into your brain about networking. How do you do it? And what are the things that you feel like people should take note of? And one of them that you've already mentioned is being willing to just put your hand up.
Honey.
Put up branding. Yes, I'm a graduate, or I'm studying statistics. Can't be putting up branding.
Darling.
Exactly. So just like breaking down those walls and being able to do those things. Tell me a bit more about networking.
Okay.
3.
So, 3.
3.
Okay. So I think firstly, just like you pretty much said, is you have to be willing. So a very big thing that I feel like my primary school and my high school and also just like my family, because I feel like I learned it from my mother and my siblings, was to always be willing to work. So whether it is for the money or it's for the experience or just being able to be like, yo, Tando Tabete asked me if I could do this for her very quickly and she trusted me. Yes. And then now I'm able to tell someone else that, you know what, if you need a reference, go and speak to Tando Tabete, you know, which was another person who's been very influential in terms of my career, or a Roger Good or whatever it may be. You always have to just pretty much be willing to go over and above. And for me, I feel, and I say that in the sense of just being like, I think it's one of the most important things in terms of when you are around people, you've got to be willing. So I even remember the one time, Anele was like, Melody. Melody was always around, like, because we used to work together 947. And she was like, if you want something done, ask Melody.
Yes.
That is such a big thing for someone to be able to say about you.
100%.
Do you know what I'm saying? So I think you always have to be willing, and being willing is part of being able to put yourself out there, right?
100%.
Because a lot of us, I remember when I started in the industry, my biggest thing that I hated was networking. Funny enough.
What?
I hated it.
And you're brilliant
I
at
hated
it.
it. I didn't understand why I needed to go speak to people. And I used to get there and be like, I don't know what the hell to say to you and things like that, right? But I went home and I went, okay, cool. I've seen other people and that's like, I've seen that they do it and it works. So I was like, hey, Zanele, now we need to learn how to network. I mean, firstly, I prayed about it. I was like, Lord, please help me, as with everything. But secondly, I went, okay, cool. We actually need to get used to doing this thing. So then what would I do? I'd go to events and things like that. And I told myself, then I'm going to get to know who's there. So a very big thing in terms of networking as well is finding the right spaces to network. So
that's the second thing, finding the right spaces to network.
Yes. So being willing to put yourself out there and then finding the right spaces to network. So I say that in the sense of, you see an event. So let me tell you, and I've told like 1 or 2 people about this as well. For me, when I go to an event, I'm not going to have fun. 100%. I'm going there for research. And what am I researching? Who is in the room? Who's there? Who can I talk to and go, hey, I know how to MC. Did you know that? Hey, I actually can act. Did you know that? What about you? Can I tell you, I can clean your shoes for you. Did you know that? Okay, I'm being serious.
She's brilliant.
That's number 1. Number 2 is who's the MC. And I'm going there to learn how they MC. Because it's my work, it's what I do. So I also need to know what's out there, what's happening. Am I getting left behind? Is someone doing something else that's cool?
Is there a new thing?
Yes, there's a new thing that I can adapt to be mine type of thing. So that's why for me, I'm like, you have to be able to find the right spaces. And what are the right spaces? Any room you get invited to. And for me, there is a part of your career where you have to say, yes, I am going to all the events. Now I don't go to all the events because I don't have the time.
You've earned it also. You've earned it to not go to all the events.
However, in terms of a specific time in my life, there was times where I was like, yo, I don't even have money to go, but I'm gonna go. Let's go and we'll do it. And you know what I mean? For me, it really just opened up so many doors, opened me up to so many people. There's even people to this day who come to me and be like, I remember you said you can do this like 5 years ago. And that's why it's so important, I think. But then the other thing I think is also just being able to, I wanna say, not get along with a lot of people, but being able to almost foster relationships with people. And I say that in the sense of, okay, cool, how do we do that? It's a thing of, Anele always says this, be as interested as you are interested, or rather be as interested as you are interested.
Interesting. Yes.
So it's a thing of...
That is a very big one.
Right, and she always says it,
That's
everyone
a
knows
very
her for
big
it.
one.
Quoting my sensei, she literally always says that. And for me, it's not a sense of I'm trying to get to know Pam because I'm trying to get something out of her. But more than anything, you don't know if that's going to be your next best friend. Do you know what I'm saying? You don't know. One of my closest friends in the whole entire world, I'd give her my kidney and my heart. Like I literally met her at 5 FM. Do you know what I mean? And that was because it was a thing of I'm trying to get to know people. And on top of getting to know people, asking questions will get you so far. So first you're asking questions with the people that you meet, but also even in the spaces that you're in. Particularly, I'm so grateful to the high school I went to because I feel like they taught me so much that I'm using now. So I remember all of my teachers always used to be like, always ask questions. So for me, the reason I got to hang out at 5FM for 2 years was because they invited us as like these mentees that were only there for 5 days. And they were like, guys, come and see how we do our like weekly meeting as a whole team. So that's what we did. And they were like, does anyone have questions? I put my hand up.
Yes,
and when I put my hand up, I actually didn't even have a question. I went, so... And then I made it up as I went along because I was like, I've got a question.
Ask questions.
And who did they call back to be like, hey, Zanele, do you want to come and help us out a little bit?
You.
It was me because I seemed as interested as I was interesting. Yes. I wanted to know more. I seemed keen. And I think that always just speaks to just how much you'd be willing to work with people. Because if people are able to be like, yeah, Pam was the one who was asking questions. She was keen. She was, so like
being interested as much as you are interesting. That is a very big one because I was actually hosting an event just the other day.
Don't you host all of them?
Oh, stop it. Another compliment, strike 3.
Okay, sorry. Yes.
I was hosting an event the other day and I was with a certain CEO and then he says like, look at my son, he's performing at a play and whatever the case may be. And then at the end of the night, and I'm like, you should find out how that play went.
Yeah.
So now it's going to be that thing where when I see you again, I'm like, did you ask him how it went, you know? Because you have to be as interested in people and also just remembering people's things like, oh, how's your dog? What happened to your dog?
Dude, and can I also tell you, can I also just say, for me especially, it would be remiss of me not to say, it's also not because, and I'm pretty sure it's the same for you.
Yeah.
It's not because I want something out of someone.
100%.
At the end of the day, it's just knowing. And also, guys, I followed Jesus. Jesus told me to be kind. He told me to be a proper person to people.
And you
so
are
that's
kind.
who I want to be.
I think that's the one thing about you. You're so kind.
Thank you, baby.
You
try.
are so
I'm not
kind.
perfect, but I try.
My team was asking like, oh, will you be fine? I'm just like, no, Zanele will be fine. I was like, yeah, like one person, no, Zanele. It's Zanele. If it was someone else, I would be worried. But Zanele, no, she'll be fine. She gets along with anybody. And I think when it comes to networking, you have nailed it. And would you attribute that to the rest of your jobs that you have gotten within the industry, your networking, being interested in people, and also just going above and beyond to connect with people, just apart from obviously landing the 947 gig, the other gigs, would you attribute that to that?
So for me, I would say that in terms of networking, yes. And I mean, I'm also very grateful because like a lot of the people I've mentioned, you know, from Liesel to Tando to whoever it is, a lot of them will like say my name in rooms that I'm not even in, right? So for me, to a certain extent, yes. But girl, I think you know what I'm gonna say. It's grace. There's a lot of things that happen in my life as well where I'm like, how did I even? Like, I don't understand. How am I going to London? What's Tropical Island of Treasure? And by what's Tropical Island of Treasure, I'm like, how's it happening in my life?
Yes,
Because I grew up watching that.
100%.
But it's like, it's crazy things for me that happen. And I think at the end of the day, a lot of people also don't give hard work enough credit. I can't say that it was just the networking. Yes, it's all good and well to meet people. But remember, you also have to back it up when you get in the room, right? Exactly. So for me, a lot of the time, it's been a thing of someone going, oh, I saw Zanele here. Or I saw Zanele do this. I saw her do this, so I think she'd be good for this. And you remain top of mind because
I saw you yesterday.
Yes.
I saw you the other day and you were working really hard.
100%. But even on top of that, it's another thing of how did you execute it as well, right? So I also think that life comes in seasons. Well, I don't think that. It's what is the thing. Like God says life comes in seasons and it does. So there are the seasons to be like, okay, cool, I'm going to all of the events to network. But then there's also the season to be like, okay, I'm sleeping early so I can wake up early, so I can learn my script so that I can go and do the right job.
Yes.
And my work will speak for itself.
Or not sleeping.
Yes,
because that
or
has
not
been
sleeping.
your story.
Oh, girl, we don't sleep in this house. However, I'm genuinely like, I think, yes, networking. However, I would rather say more hard work than anything else, more working on your craft than anything else, because your craft is the thing that will back you up, yes. But even when someone doesn't know who you are, so I didn't network, right?
Yeah.
My craft is still there to hold me up.
100%. And what do you think about empowerment? Who empowers you? How do you stay empowered by the women around you? Because you've mentioned beautiful and really powerful women that are just incredible beyond measure, especially when it comes to their work. But how do you stay empowered as a person, Zanele, to wake up every single day and do what you do?
So for me, I think I would have to say it's definitely, firstly, my close circle, like, be it my mom, be it the people that I get to see on a daily and things like that. I think it really is so important to have amazing people around you. I don't think this journey is easy without having amazing people around you, because a lot of the time, I know sometimes I'll like call someone, I'll be like, was that fine? Did that go well? Did you think that video was cool, or whatever it may be? So you've got to have people around you who are able to kind of tell you the truth, but at the same time also really support you in the things that you do. In terms of just like you saying, I mentioned all of these incredible women, I genuinely feel like mentorship is so important. And I remember DJ Zinhle once saying that, there's a lot of people who come up to her and ask if she can mentor them rather. And she'll be like, someone can actually mentor you from afar. And for me, I'm like, that is so true.
Yes.
There was a time when Anele wasn't necessarily my sensei / my mentor, but I was watching her. I was going, look at what Anele is doing. Okay, Anele did this. What did Anele do when she was my age? What was happening with this? You know what I'm saying? So I think in terms of keeping yourself empowered, it really is about how you decide to take in what's around you, because there's so much. And I think things like social media bring so much forward and bring so much to us. So, okay, cool. I can't get hold of Anele because it's a few years back now and we don't necessarily have the relationship we have now, whatever it may be. But I can go and watch an interview from her and see what she had to say and things like that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I think I stay empowered by really trying to remain a student, because I remember my church leader told me, and she was like, you must always study the people that you really look up to. So that's always been a very big thing for me. It's always just kind of seeing what it is they did. How can I do a little bit of something like that, but like in my own way, and what is it about me that I can possibly plug into the way that they plugged into television or radio, whatever it is. So I think that's the way that I do it.
I love that. I love that.
Thank you,
and I
guys.
want to get into the TV shows, the radio shows. I want to get into the work, And I wasn't joking when I said, you'll see her 4 times. Either it's on radio, TV, and you know what? It's my favorite success story. I always say to my friends, this is my favorite success story.
Thank you,
and I just like a new generation of media personalities, and you're leading that, and it's so beautiful to see.
Thank you,
It's
gorgeous.
Selima Tunzi.
Yes.
It's expressed. I don't know if I should start from the morning, but it's Selima
Anywhere works,
Tunzi.
girl. Anywhere.
Exactly. and the fact that they all happen at the same time. Selima Tunzi, Espresso.
Yes.
It is the drive time show on 5FM. It is Tropica Island of Treasure.
Yeah.
And then there's one more. Am I missing one?
No, SABC Sports every now and again.
SABC Sport every now and again.
Yeah.
My girl, when do you sleep?
Did I not say Jesus? Did I not say?
It's like all of these, and then here's Jesus.
Amen.
All of these, and there's
that
Jesus.
You know that, girl.
It's Jesus, and He's pouring into them.
Amen.
Right?
Amen. With you asking when I sleep, forgive me, guys, I promise you, it is the grace. And maybe someone else needs to hear this, so I'll say it as well. My church leader always tells me, and she's like, a lot of people will always ask you, how do you do it? But it's because God's given you the grace to be able to do that. God didn't put you in that position because He was going to be like, can she do it? Let's find out. You know what I mean? No.
He appointed you and anointed you.
Amen, child. He said, I'm going to put that girl there because I know I'm going to be able to give her the strength to do it. You know what I mean? So for me, there's certain times, guys, I promise you, I sit on the espresso couch going, I'm about to fall asleep. But okay, let's do that. I swear.
Yes.
And it's just because it's either I've had a really crazy week or whatever it may be. And right now it's not as hectic as it normally is. So I'm kind of getting a second just to hold my breath, kind of.
Yes.
But it's catch my breath, forgive me. But it genuinely is a thing of, there are so many instances where I've been like, I didn't know how I did it. Even 2 weeks ago, I was like super, super sick. I went to the doctor and I still went and did my drive show with the team and everything. And I mean, I work with amazing people. So that's why it's
incredible.
also, yes,
Your
it's so
team's
easy.
energy is amazing.
Exactly. And that's on 5FM and also at Expresso. You know what I mean? So I do have such amazing support around me, and we all they support me and I support them. We all try to support each other. You know what I mean? So even on the days where I'm like super low, they hold me up. And even then, they are blessings from God for me.
Oh, that is so beautiful, Zan.
Thanks,
that is so
babes.
beautiful. And how was your experience hosting a show that you grew up watching? That must have been crazy. I don't want to lie, when I saw it, and I was like, Zan, you're living in a lot of people's dreams right now. Hosting Tropica Island of Treasure, and also it was just coming back.
Yes.
And you're the first one to host it when it's coming back. Tell me about that experience.
Oh, babe, for me, Tropica Island of Treasure is still one of the best things I've ever done. Like I literally,
I can imagine.
And it's because it was so challenging. Okay. So I look at it and I'm like, we were, shooting this TV show in 30-degree weather. There was times when I was in the sun for like 40 minutes at a time. I had like the director in my ear. All of us had to like be awake, stay awake. I was waking up 4 a.m. to read my script. I was going, the whole day, what's this thing called? Obviously with lunch in between. And then later on, sometimes we wrap at like 6. Sometimes we wrap a little bit later. But it was just such a crazy shoot time. And it was just because the games were so like hectic, but also that's what made them entertaining and things like that, right? But it was wild, and I think that's why, for me, it's still one of the best things I've ever done, because I feel so proud of being able to do it. I feel so proud of have been able to be with the team that I was with and being able to make what we did, because it was really, really difficult. And I just said in the sense of like, it was a challenging thing, but it was so beautiful to be able to just like make such beautiful television with each other. So for me, genuinely, I used to watch Tropica Island of Treasure like from the beginning
100%.
times. Yes. So being able to host it, I was like, what are we doing here? What is
going
on?
But not only hosting.
Yes.
You know when you go into store and your face is all over.
What do you mean I'm on a bottle?
You're on a bottle.
On the Tropica that I used to drink, and please can I tell you, Tropica was like a little bit of a delicacy in our home. And I don't know why. Like it was like, yes, you'd have all the other soft drinks and the cool drinks, and those were in the fridge. But my dad used to like keep the Tropica on one side, and that would be like a little nice thing of like, you're right.
This is so special.
It was like a nice little thing of like, okay, you can have some today, because it's like, it's great. Yeah, like, okay, that's what you can have today. So for me, this thing that was always such a prized position in the home, getting to be on the bottle and everything, I was like, get out of here.
Oh,
like,
man.
God is too faithful.
I'm pretty sure you guys bought a lot of stock and then just put it there, just so they know.
I slept with the bottle the one night.
Oh.
I said, this is my face on Tropica.
And even in the store, that was such an incredible rollout, and your
Thank
journey
you,
continues to
baby.
inspire me, inspires many. And I want to talk about your downtime.
Yes.
What do you do in your downtime? Like, tell me when you're off. Like, today I'm not working. What are we doing today? I'm waking up. Zan is not working. That's very rare. You probably don't remember it. But like, what does Zan do when she wakes up in the morning and says, this is my day off?
I'm so glad you know I don't get a lot
No,
of
no, no, I know,
I
I know.
really don't. However, on a day when I do have a day off, a lot of the time, one of the things I try to do is I do a lot of trying to see the people I love.
Oh,
especially because they're so understanding. I can be so terrible. There's so many things that like I've missed. So many things that like I should have been there, but I wasn't able to because I was here or there or whatever. And my friends,
girl, I missed the wedding.
like
My friend's wedding. I missed the wedding. So
it's-
I'm probably
no,
sure
I'm
you
with
can relate.
Yes, 100%. And it's so terrible. And things
Yes.
like birthdays and weddings, they are things I've always said I don't want to miss them because I feel like they're so important. You know what I mean? But it happens every now and again, right? So I always try to see my loved ones, even though sometimes it does leave me like a little bit tired at the end of the day, but it leaves me fulfilled. And it leaves me feeling like at least they know that I love them, because I really do, even though I'm such a scatterbrain sometimes and I don't even know what's happening with my schedule, you know? But if I am having some sort of like downtime, like I normally just chill in bed.
I get that.
I'm a bed chiller.
I get
Like,
that.
I don't
want
want
to do too
anything.
much.
I wish Mr. D could come inside my house. I wish he could bring it to
You don't want to
I
go
wish Uber
collect
Eats
it.
could bring it here next to me. I don't want to go to the door. I wish you could put it inside my stomach even. Because Zana, I'm so lazy on that day. But that's what I like doing.
But
I
you've
like just
earned
chilling.
it. You would have earned it.
Thank you. I must get a butler. Thank you. How However, I literally just like chill in bed. I try watch things. Depending on how I'm feeling, I'll watch a series or whatever, or movie. I love movies and series. The acting girl in me. But I also really love watching sermons as well. Every now and again, something motivational. But like, I try to stay away from that because I'm like, no, we're off of work. So yeah.
When are you getting into acting? Because the acting girl in you is very much active. It's in all the drama. It's in all the energy that you have. When are we getting actress Zan? Period. Yes.
Whole means Iggy.
Yes.
On Generation.
Yes, girl.
That 10, Baba. No, I can't wait to get into acting.
Yes. When are you doing it?
If I could act now, I would. And I mean, I've even done like a little short course at the Market Theatre.
Oh, nice.
At some point when I had time on my hands, because I was like, I really want to get into this acting thing. Right now, I don't have the time.
But you actually don't, because I know with acting, call times can be like 5 a.m. and then you wrap up at night like 10 p.m. to come back again. And you have 5 shows. You'd have to resign from 5 shows. You'd literally have to resign from 5 shows. So it wouldn't work out. So I get that.
Yes, it's literally a thing of like, as much as I am like, oh, I can't wait to start acting, I'm also like, I have to honor the season that I'm in. And this is where God wants me right now.
That you're in.
I heard that at Sal yesterday. Yeah, honor the
season that you're in. And you're so in touch with your faith and your spirituality. And that's what I love about you. And that's probably what keeps your heart so pure. And people drawn towards you.
Thank you,
gorgeous. Like, that's why people are drawn towards you. You're so in touch with spirituality. Tell me about that journey and how does that keep you grounded and what does it mean to you to be in touch with your spirituality and your religion and your faith?
So for me, it is everything. And I say that because I don't know a life outside of Jesus. And I say that as well because I was brought up in the church. And I think one of the things I am so fortunate for, because I've even had conversations with my friends, right, where they were like, no, I only started having like a proper relationship with Jesus when I was like 20 or whatever it may be. And by that, it's a thing of like understanding that Christianity isn't just a religion. So for them, they grew up in a household where it was like, yeah, we pray and stuff, but it was just a religion. So in terms of having an actual relationship with Jesus, it happened later on. It's literally all I've ever known. And I think the only time when I didn't actually, have like a proper solid relationship with Jesus. And not to say it's always solid. Child, we go through things, okay? Okay? Sometimes he feels far, but he's not, okay? I'm the one who's kind of like moved or whatever it may be, but we fix it. But it's like a thing of, when I was in varsity, I got to first year and I remember I hadn't found a church or anything like that. Me and my friends, started experimenting. We were free now, so we're doing anything. I just come from being head girl. I was like, let me free. I want to see it all. Where's everything? Give it to me. And then
was that your wild year?
So it wasn't. Oh yeah, it was. I'm not saying it was. However,
don't deny it.
No. I won't.
Don't deny it.
I won't. And I got to 6 months into the year, and thank Jesus, I had passed the BSc that I was doing that like specific time, right? Because I was trying to get into medicine.
Yes.
I got past that 6 months, and I was like, I actually don't want to do this. Like, if I have to go start again and do another year of medicine, and now I must do like chemistry and maths and all this stuff again. I was like, no, thank you. Particularly chemistry and stuff. That was what put me off, because you do it until like 3rd year in medicine and things like that.
Hectic.
So I was like, Jesus. Not even at the time, Jesus particularly. I was like, Zen, because I was being naughty. I was like, no, I don't want it. So I got to a point where I was like, okay, cool, what are we looking at? And that's when I chose the BCom. However, even the choosing of the BCom came later on because I felt so lost.
Oh, wow.
So in that year where I was now no longer as close to God as I was when I was in school, because in high school, particularly grade 10 to 12, because grade 8 and 9, I was still trying to be a rebel. Grade 10 to 12, I was. All of my siblings, let me tell you quickly, all of my siblings are overachievers. So I got to high school and they were like, Potelwa, you're going to be the next head girl. I said, absolutely not. Okay? And I tried to be like
rebellious.
A rebel. And unfortunately, your destiny follows you, babe. If you're meant to be great, if you're meant to be doing something that you're meant to be doing, God's not going to let you not. So I got to grade 10 and I started actually being on the right path. However, it was a thing of, in that first year, I was so lost. I was so sad. I think I broke up with someone. I was like, it wasn't even a proper relationship. I was crying all the time. Everything was terrible. And then eventually I found church again. And that was when alignment came again. that was when it was a thing of like, hey, cool, now we're doing a BCom. From the BCom, it was like, hey, cool, now go to Tax FM. Now we're doing radio. From then, God then led me to 5FM and all of these things. So for me, in that like period, 8 to 9 months where I didn't have God, and yes, I'm sure like I tried to pray every now and again, but it just wasn't that proper relationship.
I saw the difference. You saw the difference.
It was it was bad. Or the only highlight in my life was my friends, and they were amazing, which was lovely. Otherwise, everything was terrible. So that's why I'm like, all I've ever known is Jesus, and that is why he's my foundation. And even in coming into the entertainment industry, it's a very crazy space to navigate, particularly in terms of what we believe and what we do 100%. And all these different things, you know what I mean? But for me, I always like to shout out people like Robert Boy and Rosemary Zimu. They made me very confident about speaking out about my faith. Because at first I was told, coming into the industry, you can't be all about your faith. Otherwise people won't want to like give you a job and things like that.
Really?
I promise you.
I actually want to get into the challenges that you face within the industry, starting with that one.
Yes. So I was told, particularly with radio, you can't be all about your faith and things like that. Because then, and the reason it makes sense, right, is because it's almost like, all of us are different denominations, different religions.
And
exactly.
Believe in
so
different
you can't,
things
you know
and
what,
higher powers.
100%. So that's where it came from. But I think me being told that as a young girl, I would almost felt like if I'm like not being like this in radio and whatever, that means I mustn't be like this in just like in my general life on social media and things like that. So it made me almost a little bit scared to be like, I'm a Jesus girly, you know what I mean? And even then I didn't necessarily think I had to. And it's not like I feel like I have to even now. I do because Jesus is my personality. You know what I mean? Like, someone told me I look good when I got you. I said it's Jesus, okay? Because it is. However, I literally, for me, then was able to be like, oh, I can talk about my faith. It is okay for me to be all about Jesus and things like that, right? So I think that in the beginning, it was almost trying to find a balance of Zanele and where does my faith come in? Where does it start? Where does it begin? And the truth of the matter is that all of Zanele is all of Jesus and it's all of my religion and my faith, if you will. But another thing that was a challenge was I remember trying to get a TV job at one of these like community TV stations. And what happened was it was like a presenter search thing. So I sent, they were like, you know, text the WhatsApp line. So I text the WhatsApp line and then the guy goes, you know, you have to do like a little bit of something for me, right?
No.
Yeah. And he was talking about like, you know, sexual favor vibes. And I said, I'm not like that. Thank you so much. And he said, well, good luck. Let's see.
Let's see.
Well, let's see me now. We're seeing. We are indeed seeing. Thank you very much. Okay. Thanks.
Period. I love that. I love that you went on to prove him wrong or just people wrong, that you don't have to be that and do that in order to be successful. And also, you don't have to fast track your journey because you're a Jesus girl.
Babe,
Jesus got you.
Babe, the fast tracking your journey thing is so important. And especially because yesterday I actually got reminded of a video of mine that I posted like 2 years ago. It was when I was doing the Barbie premiere and I emceed it. And I made a testimony Tuesday, because I was like, I remember coming to the industry and I was like, hi, but God, all of these like events, I'm seeing people go to events. When am I going to be invited? When can I MC 100%. One of them? I just want one, Jesus, you know, type of thing. And Jesus said, sit down.
Sit down. It's all coming.
Exactly. And it wasn't easy. And I remember actually I was talking about it at my cell group yesterday. And I was like, the reason that I feel like things opened up for me was because I said, God, let your will be done. I had this young list where I was like, Lord, I need to go to the events, and then I need to MC them, then I need to do this, then I need to do this. And God said, okay, what about what I have planned for you? Okay. And I said, and I went, Lord, fine. This would be nice, and this would be nice, but Lord, let your will be done. And that was when things started opening up. God started taking it a certain way because I surrendered. And I love exactly what you're saying in terms of not rushing your process, because Sana, for me, I wanted a Tropical Island of Treasure 2-3 years ago when I did audition for it originally and I didn't get it. God said, no, I want to bring Tropical Island of Treasure when you have Selima Tunzi and you have Espresso and you get the drive show and all of those things. And even the example I used where I was like, sometimes we're like, oh, I just want this one donut. And God's like, no, I want you to have a buffet. And that's like, you know what I mean? And that's one of the biggest things I've learned from my journey is just like, God always knows where he's taking you, where he says his thoughts are not our thoughts, where he says he wants to give us exceedingly and abundantly more. He knows better than us. Yes, we want that small thing. He's here. What was he thinking here? And that's why we need to trust him.
Beautiful. I want you to take me through future Zanele. What does she look like?
Oh my word.
Is it a production house? Is it a school of presenting? Is it get married and disappear into a farm? What is it and what does it look like?
Sure. Okay.
5-10 years.
5-10 years. Yeah. That's so hectic. I feel like that's so hectic to answer.
No, whatever you have in your heart.
But this is the thing. That's why I'm just like, I don't think I've thought a lot about it. And in the sense of just being like, I know that there's certain things I want, right? Where I'm like, I definitely want to work more abroad. I definitely want to do a lot more. You know.
I mean, you've already gotten a window into, Michael B. Jordan. Like,
Thank you,
I'm pretty
Jesus.
sure right now, Michael.
Is that Michael calling?
Michael.
Is
Now,
it Mikey?
I'm just gonna name him MBJ on my phone because I don't want you guys to steal his
You know
number
what I
and
mean?
stuff. You've already gotten a taste of that, but what
you,
does the future
babe.
look like for you?
So for me, it's definitely working abroad. It's definitely still being a very prominent voice in the entertainment industry, but not just in South Africa, on the African continent as well, and all around the world. But I think it's so important for us
Start
to
in
also,
Africa.
yes, 100%, and be an example to our babies who are coming after us. You know what I mean? But for me, I think another thing is definitely just like, entrepreneurship is a big one. I have a lot of businesses I want to start, things I want to do, things like for the longest time now, my clothing line has been coming, Sana. But then I get a new TV show, then what must happen? But I'm joking.
I love that you respect the season that you're in.
Amen. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you for saying that, babe, because I guess that's what I'm trying to do. I also just need to be more responsible though. However, I definitely think entrepreneurship, a lot of charity work, and philanthropy, a lot of that. I
feel like it comes naturally to you, that it's only because you're busy that it's not something that you're doing consistently, but it comes naturally to you. If there's ever a person who can do philanthropy and any charity work, it's you. You can do it in your sleep.
Friend, why are you being so nice? Thank you for saying that. It's literally, you see how little Zanele wanted to just help people?
Yes.
For me, it's literally that. I think at the crux of it, the reason I appreciate what I do in terms of radio and television is because we'll get messages like someone saying, Zanele, younger Shabzi, I remember when we were on 5 Lunch, where they were like, my sister got stabbed and passed away, and the only time that I actually got, to be able to be a little bit happy in the day was by tuning into your show. So thank you so much. Right? So for me, I'm like, that for me, like helping people through
sometimes that's how you're helping people. I always say that because sometimes it's making a person smile.
100%.
You've helped someone.
100%.
With your light.
Exact. Thank you, babe. So that's why for me, it makes my heart happy to know that in a certain way I am helping people, but the philanthropy part is a very big part of still wanting to do it in another way. You know what I'm saying? So it is entrepreneurship, philanthropy, definitely making my own productions.
Yes.
That's something I really want to start doing as soon as possible, because of just the ideas I have and everything. And then also just being a great woman of God. Amanda. And of course, being a wife, being a mom, all of those things, they'll come.
I think those are coming for you. I want to talk about Zandile.
My bestie for life, guys.
So, for those of you who don't know, Andile Ngube and Zanele have a bestie-ship that they started through TikTok. It was actually her. And she's basically Andile's annoying little sister friend. And Andile is always just like, why is this girl following me? People have fallen in love with them as besties, and it's so beautiful.
He hates me so much.
He hates you. You love him
so much. I call him Andals at the moment. I started calling him Andals yesterday. He said, "You just call me Andals." He literally reposted. He said, I typed this whole thing. I said, our videos have hundreds of thousands of views. He hasn't even seen one. Andals, do you think I should leave you alone now? He said, "You just call me Andals." He saw nothing else except that Andals. And then now he reposted another one and he said, please leave me alone. That's what's sitting on Instagram right now. So, yeah.
That is the cutest thing. The reception has also been so funny. But I love that, like, for the most part, people are actually getting you and your personality because that's who you are. Very annoying, very funny, very loving as well. Like, it's very like, come, let me give you a hug, even if you don't want it.
You're such a brand strategist. I promise you, the way that you're just like, they see your personality, Zach. I love your work. No, but I love him so much. He's such a big brother. And another thing for me is I'm like, anyone could have gone, yo, I love sis, you are Tika. You are Tika. And also she's just like here, busy taking videos the whole time. I remember sitting with him the other day. I did like a whole press conference. That's the next video that's dropping. I did a press conference with him. And then he goes, just take your damn video. I'm like, this guy loves me.
He actually does.
He actually loves me.
Does.
Why would he just let me sit in his car? Okay, he actually doesn't let me sit properly in his car. But he's like, no, you're annoying. Just sit here. But I think that it's another example because I think we have so many amazing people in the industry who are so willing to teach us and give us their time and things like that. So even our little bestie-ship, it started because I was like, Andile, hi. And then he goes, you make a noise sometimes on TV. Stop that. He was literally telling me the truth.
Really?
Yes.
He was low-key telling you,
yes, he was literally like,
turn it down.
He was literally just like, your energy is great, but just get it together sometimes. You know what I mean? And even some of my bosses have told me that as well, and they make fun of me. My Selling Matunzi bosses call me Mam Ruby. Because they're like, Sana, uyangola wena, Sana. And it's true. But that's why sometimes you have to like even it out. So when Tropica came out, he was like, that was beautiful. But then you'll look at other things and be like, fix that, stop it. But this is what I'm saying.
Mentor, mentee, but also it's just being in the space allows you to connect.
100%. And that's why I'm like, I think we have such amazing people from the Andiles to the Aneles to the Tandos who are willing to teach us and show us, to the Rogers, and like just really kind of guide us and things like that. And that's exactly what he is. So as much as I annoy him and he annoys me a little bit as well, he also will like tell me certain things and be like, it's time for you to do this with finances or that or whatever it may be. Or a Naves or a Spear, they were some of the biggest people who were like, it's time for you to do this with your finances or whatever it is. So yeah.
That's incredible. I love that you've used that access to kind of propel your career forward. The last thing I want to ask you is affirmations.
Yes.
Because we are in the month of August and it's Women's Month.
Yes.
This episode is proudly brought to you by Brutal Fruit Spritzer and we are big on affirmations. And we're going to start by giving you some flowers.
Oh my goodness, I love flowers.
Yes. That's for you.
And they're so beautiful. Mom, look what they did for me. Thank you. I love these.
Yes,
you,
and we believe in giving her flowers because she's
gorgeous.
amazing in all her glory. She is incredible in her work. She's incredible as a sister, as a friend, as a presenter. She's even more unstoppable. But we want you to share an affirmation not only for yourself, but for the women who are watching you and inspired by your journey. So you can say I, and they'll be sitting at home and also saying I, because this is my audio journal and we're journaling with Zanele Potelwa today.
Hi, my champions. Okay, so here we go. I am powerful beyond measure. I am a champion. I am beautiful. I'm loved by God, and I can do anything that I put my mind to. And rejection has nothing to do with me. It's protection, it's elevation, it's redirection. And I've got this. Thank you.
Cut.
Go to cut.
Cheers. Oh my goodness, that was absolutely stunning. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
My audio journal is so special to me, and
I'm
the
so
fact
proud of
that
you.
thank you. It's so special to me, and the fact that you've come on to this show to share your light with us is incredible. And I'm pretty sure someone out there is inspired by Zanele Potelwa's journey, and from here, it's only all the way to the top because the sky is not the limit. Thank you for journaling with us, and I hope you at home are journaling too. This is my audio journal, and it was Zanele Potelwa.
Can I do one more strike for?
What?
I love you. You're amazing. You're doing incredible. You're forging such a beautiful path, and you can be so proud. Most glamorous, most amazing Formula One paddock queen, most everything. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you so
congratulations.
much. Thank you.